Yo, how does this dude keep his hair straight like this, man? Like, seriously, Mogul, Ludwig, how do you do that, man? My hair's like popping everywhere. Crazy. Anyways, so basically, cutting to the chase. This is a huge embarrassment, Mogul Mail, and then it's cancelled. My another favorite YouTuber, Penguin, Moist Critical. When I see two of these talking about the same topic, you better pay attention. There must be something. And they are talking about none other than Overwatch 2. And those of you who have no idea, I didn't play Overwatch 1. I started with 2. And I played for quite some time. And for me, I'm not a huge gamer, but yes, I love playing video games. If you follow my channel, obviously you know that, right? But before, Harry Potter, well, what was that? The recent one. The Hogwarts Legacy, Resident Evil, the Star Wars, and all this stuff. We had Call of Duty, and then we had Overwatch too, right? So I was excited. It's a decent game. It's not one of the best stuff you will find out there, but it's a decent game. And yes, Blizzard, unfortunately, they don't hesitate to disappoint the gamers, the people. And they decided to cancel updates for Overwatch 2. I don't know if I'm going to go back to Overwatch 2 anyways. But yes, it's a very decent game, multiplayer. And I was enjoying the Junker Queen. That's the only character I was using to play the whole game. And if I had nothing to play at the moment, I would probably consider Overwatch 2. But after this announcement, let's actually watch this together real quick. And I'm going to be playing this fast. I'll drop the link in the description if you want to watch it, the original version, okay? Because I can't slow them down, man. My ADD kicks in. So let's do this.
I've never played a game of Overwatch.
Actually, matter of fact, I'm not going to play this one. I'm going to play this one.
Life. Not because I think I'm too good for it or because the game is bad. It's actually the opposite. I think I would like Overwatch a lot, which is the problem. I don't want to get addicted to another game where I'm rolling the dice for good teammates in hopes of hitting an arbitrary rank to justify all the time I spent playing the game. I already do that with Valorant. However, even someone like me who's not that interested in Overwatch is wildly interested in all the drama surrounding it after a huge announcement was dropped by the Overwatch team today that everyone's upset about. And you got
all right, so basically, okay, Ludwig, he's a, as far as I know, I didn't dig deeper into his lifestyle, but he's a gamer, all right? He's been playing for quite some time with 1.37 million subscribers, and Moist Critical, another one, right? They are gamers, and whenever this is something, it makes sense. So, like I said, he doesn't want to get involved with a game halfway and then basically build up to that level and then find out that the developers won't support it anymore. And that's kind of bullshit, because you put so much work into it, building that brand, and then, you know, the game developers or whatever, the game creators pull the plug, or rug pull, whatever you want to call it. Oh no, we're done with it. And now what's next? So now you move on to the next and then again rebuild from scratch. So yeah, I get the point. So anyways,
guys don't even play Overwatch yourselves, I think you'll find it interesting. It all started with this tweet, which seems, again, so innocent. It says, game director and executive producer took a peek into the future of Overwatch. Eyes emoji. Watch this segment for the latest on PVE and everything else we have planned. Star emoji. That's good. It seems like a fine thing. Oh, it's just a plan for the year. And then Overwatch legend and fantasy football god Super quote retweets and says, okay, this is what I'm getting. PvE scraps, talent trees, and long-term progression scraps. And the only thing we're getting for PvE is archive-style missions every once in a while. Epic. What happened to the last 3.5 years? And if that makes no sense to you, you're like me. You haven't played this game, so let me give you some context. And to do that, we have to teleport back to 2019. A simpler time. A pre-COVID time.
All right, this is going to be helpful for me too, man. See, you never know what to find. I'm going to slow this down a little bit, a notch. 1.4x. All right? So those of you who find this fast, maybe play it in 0.5x or something. Or one negative some x.
Terrible time to be at Activision Blizzard because they had a bad year. It started with them separating from one of their best developers, Bungie, which dropped their stock a little bit. Then they had to lay off 775 staff members, despite having an amazing 2018. And then they had all the backlash for firing casters and banning Hearthstone players over their support of Hong Kong, which led to an Overwatch character actually being the symbol of support for Hong Kong. And all that combined made 2019 their worst year in a long time. It was worse than 2018, 2017, and 2016. And companies they like going up and to the right, and this is not that. So bad year for Activision Blizzard. And at their annual event BlizzCon, where they get to announce all their fun things, they started out by apologizing for what they did to the casters and the players in Hearthstone for their support of Hong Kong, and then had a fun announcement.
Yes, we are.
Which was them announcing Overwatch 2. which nobody expected at the time. And even me, someone, again, who had never played the game, I was like, that's cool. Maybe I play that game. Everyone's hype about this. The video got 20 million views and everyone was popping off. And they expanded on what Overwatch 2 was supposed to be because no one really saw it coming, so no one really knew what the goal was of the game. And here is Jeff Kaplan, who is a beloved, or was a beloved Activision Blizzard employee and the lead at Overwatch, talking about it.
Now, when I talk to lots of you, there's a common request that you want out of Overwatch, and Overwatch 2 is going to deliver on this. And that's for more story and for PVE, for cooperative.
Imagine. Massive amount of people, millions of people watching. This is what Overwatch 2 gonna do. Like huge promises. Sorry, we won't be providing any more update. We're canceling the show or whatever, the game. Man, and I believe I paid something. I don't know how much I paid, but it was about $49-50 or so.
Experiences.
Yeah, PVE, player versus environment. You know, the PvP is what everyone knows Overwatch for, but let me get immersed into the world more. That way, when I look up the Overwatch porn at night, it hits a little harder.
Overwatch 2 will feature a ton of PVE content. We will have a complete story experience featuring story missions, the first of which is called Rio de Janeiro, is also playable in Hall A for all of you today.
All good news, all exciting things. But then here's a key promise that Jeff makes about the plans for Overwatch 2 and a new co-op mode.
Cannot wait to hear what you think about
Hold on, co-op mode? Co-op mode?
In addition, as you saw, we have something called
co-op mode? I played this game for quite some time. I have a playlist, check it out. So I understand. And I was thinking, what to expect, but now it makes sense. Where's the missing pieces now?
Missions, which hero missions are focused on highly replayable cooperative experience. The analogy we like to use on the team is similar to what adventure mode is to Diablo versus its campaign.
Okay.
That's what hero missions are intended to be.
Huge promises, huge.
Really cool progression system where you can level up your heroes, get more powerful, customize your abilities.
Makes sense. Basically, they have a new co-op mode with different replayability features, skill trees. Basically, every time you play with your friend, it'll be a new experience. It'll be fun. It'll make you want to play Overwatch more without getting bored. That's the main promise that he gave at this announcement at the end of 2019. End of 2019. Keep that date in mind. A year passes.
2021, 22, 23.
Hits. Big announcement. Jeff Kaplan, the guy who was on the stage we just listened to, is leaving Blizzard after 19 years. And this guy, again, is a legend. Super beloved by all of the fans and the players of Overwatch and the guy who's leading the game. And so for him to leave got people a little bit nervous. And there started to be some hints that they might have announced Overwatch 2 too early, that they should have waited a little bit. Not just because fans were getting antsy, but because it was hurting Overwatch, the original game, Overwatch 1.
They wanted more
that they put too much focus on
dineros
Overwatch 2 over the past few years to the detriment of support for the original game. And so because of that, they changed the release plans for Overwatch 2. Rather than let's have the game all ready to go and then sell it out to you guys, we are going to release it earlier with just the PvP portion, and then that PvP that we were talking about, that's all like the new fun stuff, will come later. So let's just, because Overwatch 1 is kind of...
I'm just going to zoom real quick. I don't want to break this one more time, and I think we have 5 more minutes left. It's all about the money, isn't it? So since they were not being profitable, if you paid attention, so why not release a game? And I see this in crypto and AI, whatever other industries, like with shady developers or with bad intentions. They'll just throw it out as quick as possible to grab like quick cash grabs or whatsoever, just to please the insiders or investors and etc. This is BS, man. Like when it comes to for the gamers, for the experiences, right? I don't know what to say, man. I'm just literally enjoying what I'm getting lately. But if you're a serious gamer, well, for serious gamers, that I should say, or ones who actually take it, get paid for gaming, esports, it's not doing so well. But I'm still I'm not a professional gamer, but I mentioned this before that I would love to create something around this niche because I love gaming. And it's nothing better than monetizing your passion, right? So I don't know where it's gonna go, but sure, let's see if Mogul Mail, if Ludwig, Neo Reg X7, and Moist Critical combines and revives the esports. That would be awesome.
Kind of dying because you're all waiting for Overwatch 2. Hurry along Overwatch 2. And that's exactly what they did. And a little over a year ago, they launched an invitational beta, and then October of last year, they launched the game itself. And the game's launch didn't go so hot. It wasn't the best launch of all time. Now, I don't know if this strategy was necessarily dumb, by the way, before we jump to how bad the game launch was. Overwatch wasn't doing very well after the announcement of Overwatch 2. I mean, viewership was declining throughout this period. They were averaging less for their kickoff events than XQC averages. Look, 50K in 2022 for the kickoff clash. XQC, he's at 62K right now. So I get the concerns internally and why they needed to rush out Overwatch 2, and that's exactly why they did it. But the launch did not go great. And here's Dunkey giving his review of it.
The haters have been calling this game a Overwatch 1.5. I gotta say, haters, you guys are stupid. You don't know what you're talking about. This is more like Overwatch 1.1.
Yeah. Yep, I did talk about this too, because I said I didn't play Overwatch 1, so for me it didn't matter. I just started as a new game.
And he goes into why there's so many problems with Overwatch, but you don't gotta just say, oh, there's just a...
It feels like a major defeat. It feels like Blizzard could be the next BioWare. However, we still haven't played
Oh man, BioWare. Wasn't it BioShock? Good old games, man. What happened? This is one thing I mention most of the time, that most of us, we have this goldfish memory. We forget about things and then move on to next, the shiny object. And this is another reason why the shady people, or whatever, the bad dudes, or people who has no intention to build for long term, they just give up and move on, because they're like, dude, who cares? These morons, they'll just forget about it. So just forget, we don't have to do anything. We made our money, now just move on to the next. And that sucks. So don't forget things. I mean, it's good to remember. And so it actually helps you in the future to reevaluate things, make better decisions.
Mode, which for me is the main draw of Overwatch 2.
Yeah, I mean, if your girlfriend ditches you, yeah, you don't want to remember those things, memories, but some things are worth remembering, man.
For the sake of the fans, I hope that 99% of the development team has been focused on co-op, because I don't know what they've been doing for more than 2 years with the PvP.
So PvP overall a bit disappointing. It's very similar to Overwatch 1, although fun to play, and I know many people who do play it, and maybe it's balanced a little bit better. It is not a sequel. It is not Overwatch 2. It is just an update to the original game, and PvE, is the thing that everyone is excited for. And that brings us to today, and why their announcement was so bad. So let's take a look again at this tweet with the eyeball and the star emojis.
Oh wow, finally. The end. We have the announcement now, the update.
And then take a look again one more time at the skill tree promised, right? This is the hero mode with the skill tree, super huge replayability. Now let's watch it together.
And so we're left with another difficult choice. Do we continue to pour all that effort into PvE, hoping that we can land it at some point in the future? Or do we stick with this set of values we've aligned on and focus on the live game and focus on serving all of you?
Now, this is the executive producer who prefaced this by saying running Overwatch 2 PvP by itself is very difficult and we want to do a good job, but we don't know if we can do a good job and do PvE. And so then he drops his bomb.
With everything we've learned about what it takes to operate this game at the level that you deserve, it's clear that we can't deliver on that original vision for PvE that was shown in 2019. What that means is that we won't be delivering that dedicated hero mode with talent trees.
He's so lost in a way. Like, look at the lack of confidence in the looks, man. That's so disappointing. Is it the money they couldn't raise, or what is it that they're failing to deliver? I understand that the gaming industry is pretty, it's a here and here kind of like shaky thing.
That long-term power progression, those things just aren't in our plans anymore. And we know that this is going to be disappointing to many of you, which is why we wanted to bring it up before we talked about the roadmap. And to be perfectly honest, it's been really difficult for many of us and a lot of folks on the team who've poured their heart and soul into that stuff.
Now, I do not envy being a developer, ever. Even in the best of times, you still have people who are just dogging you for more and more and more. But this is just a simple lack of hitting expectations. Expectations were set and expectations were failed.
Bro, I want my refund right now. I want my refund
to be met. And that will make people upset, and I think justifiably so. But that's the huge bomb. All the PvE, all the things that Jeff talked about on stage that we watched together are now, which is sad, and maybe you can think to yourself, oh, well, I'm glad I am Team Valorant or still playing TF2 for some reason because it's really fun. I don't know what you guys play. But I think it's just sad for the people who enjoyed this game, because I know a lot of them personally. Even my editor, Shake Drizzle, I think is like a Paper 2 Overwatch player, and he loves playing that shit every night. He'll even be late on edits just to play that game a little more, and now he can't have fun co-op with all his friends. Sad.
Yeah, man. Seriously. I was thinking about getting back. Like I said, if there's anything else, if I don't have anything to play right now, I would just think about Overwatch. There's nothing else. Well, Resident Evil, probably DLC, but that's it. Overwatch is fun. Overwatch 2 is just fun because there are people, and it's fun to some extent. But if you are a hardcore gamer, then you would call it average, because this is what it is, right? And last but not the least, I want to see what he's talking about.
You
then
can
I'm gonna
kind
end
of
this.
feel their pain and tears, kind of like in Pacific Rim, where you're sharing the neural load. Both of you are experiencing this disaster unfold in front of you, and you can kind of have this almost empath moment where there's someone crying behind the screen watching this too. Well, welcome to the everyday experience of being an Overwatch 2 fan. Every time there is a new announcement from the Overwatch development team, it's just bad news. It's getting visited by Krampus every few months when they make some kind of new details about what's going on with Overwatch. It's always just awful, disastrous news. And
all right, that's all I wanted to hear. Charlie, thank you, man. Charlie is never ceased to entertain us, man. Awesome. So Anyways, citizens, ladies and gents, gamers, what's your opinion on what's happening in Overwatch 2? I'm doing my best to pay attention to the gaming industry because, yeah, I mean, gaming is the way I can cope in this market that I am in, crypto, AI, and all the stress in life. Gaming helps me, man. Like, you know, and I'm here to share my opinion and what I know, what I find out. I've been playing games for quite some time, like since back in like when dinosaurs age, right? When the first Nintendo, whatever, Super Mario came out, when Super Mario 0.0001% came out, whatever version came out. Anyways, all right, I'm out now. Peace.